Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Just thought I'd do a really quick update on the Giants Live Wembley event that's happening right now. So I'm going to be quick. I won't be able to answer too many questions, otherwise I might actually miss the next event. So they've kicked off the Giants Live Wembley tour, and we started off with event 1, which was the max deadlift. So this is where athletes had choices on whether they came in on the initial lift or they could come in at higher weights, and they were aiming for that mythical 501 kilos just to break Eddie Hall's deadlift record. So if I just run through the athletes, the weights, and what's happened. So a little bit of a shock as how these guys have pulled today. A little bit different to what I expected, but some guys, the guys we felt that would do well, did. So here we go. So the guys started off with 400 kilos, then it was going to jump to 420, then 440, then they were going to go for 455 kilos, just over 1,000 pounds. Then they were going to go for 467.5, and if anyone pulled that, they were then going to go for the 501 kilos. So that was the lift order. So let's just go through who we had. So everybody attempted 400 kilos. Unfortunately, the only athlete that did not pull 400 kilos was Luke Stoltman. So Luke is actually doing the full competition, so he'll be a bit gutted there. He will need to make up those points in the other events. Then everyone obviously proceeded to do 420. Mateusz Kiliskowski from Poland failed 220, and Tom Stoltman of Scotland also failed 220. So those two were the only other guys that did not pull at that weight. So they were obviously quite low in points, and they're going to need to make those up also because they are also doing the full competition. Next, we had 440 kilos. This is where we had a bit of a surprise for me. Adam Bishop pulled 440. Really great news for Adam. So that's got to be nearly a PB or a PR for Adam Bishop. He then, after that, decided, just as a bit of an update, not to go for 455. Adam's looking at the long game here. He's being strategic. He's got other events to compete in, and he knows he's got some good points in the bank at 440. So Adam pulled that lift and then passes now for the rest of the competition. Next up, Mark Felix unfortunately failed 440. So he bombs out at 420. Just to note, he's 53 years old. He pulled 420 and failed at 440. Next up, Mikhail Shivlyakov failed 440. So he will also bow out at that weight. So he'll get some extra points on the guys that didn't pull 420. Rob Kearney pulled 440. Very technical way of lifting. He pulls it up to his knees. He drops down. And I think he did 3 hitches on this one, but he managed to pull it off and got given the 440 kilo lift. He also followed Adam Bishop in bowing out at that weight for the rest of the competition. These guys have got to save some energy, save their backs. There's so much more of the show to go. So that was Rob at 440. So good for Rob. Pete Bremner from Ireland. He was only a guest lifter brought in for the deadlift specifically. He managed to pull 400. He then decided to skip 420. So that may have been a mistake for him. Because he failed 440. Bit of a shame there for Pete, but he got some great experience, got to meet some of the guys, and the show looks really great. If you have got the live feed, go to officialstrongman.com. You can subscribe. It's about $10 a month, but if you do subscribe for today, you can at least watch the show now and then cancel afterwards if you really don't want to keep paying out on a monthly basis. That's my sort of tip for the day. So after that, I've got that we then went to 455. So this is where it started getting interesting. So Rauno Heinler pulled 455 and it looked pretty convincing. So he actually got that lift, breaking 1,000 pounds. So congratulations to Rauno. He then followed some of the other guys in pulling out at the next weight. I think he realizes that was really at his maximum for today. Really, really great lift, heavier than I've ever seen him pull at other events. So 455 for Rauno. He now bows out for the remainder of this competition in Wembley. Nedzmin Amberskovic pulls 440 kilos. He got it. He's the new lifter, and he's come in as a guest lifter only for this show. He then actually did go on to attempt the 455 and unfortunately failed. So he was disappointed in himself. He feels he could have got the lift. His training was on point for that lift, but he pulled 440. There's nothing to be ashamed there, buddy. You beat a hell of a lot of other experienced strongmen, and you've proven you definitely have earned your place at the Deadlift World Championships. So hopefully they'll do this again and they won't leave it 3 years next time. But look forward to seeing you at future Giants Live comps. If they can get you in, it would be great. And then we came up to the final lifter, which was Jerry Pritchett. Jerry was the guy I'd marked to win this event, pull the heaviest weight. Jerry pulled 420. He didn't have enough time to, he said he got warmed up and then he got cold again because there was a big delay starting the show today due to fans couldn't get there on time. There was a big issue with traffic in London. There's always issues with traffic in London. And the Who were playing next door. So again, 60,000 people also trying to get to a similar arena because the SSE arena where they're doing the Strongman is butted onto the actual Wembley arena. So difficult. There's always going to be stuff happening. So if you are a fan and you're traveling, you may as well make it a day and leave early. Make sure you are in that area as soon as possible. That's what I would do anyway. So going back to Jerry did every lift I'm aware of. He did 400, pulled that. 420 looked even better. Then he went to 440 and he pulled that really easily. Then he did 455 and it was like reminiscent of his 465. So it just went straight up, no delay, no issue, no problem. So he very confidently went for 467.5. This would have broken his previous record. And unfortunately, today was not the day for Jerry. A bit gutted. I felt he had that in the bag. So Jerry failed 467.5. He didn't really bow out. He was kind of lifted out. So he or outlifted. So he will now go back into the rest of the show, having pulled the same as Rauno Heinle at 455. So those guys are going to be top of the pack going into event 2. Now, just briefly, because I really don't want to miss the next event, so I will have to go soon, guys. Event 2 is going to be the Farmer's Walk for distance or for 20 meters. The weight is going to be 160 kilos. I'm really happy that it's heavy. I think that's really going to separate some people rather than it just be for time. And following on from that event, we're going to go into the safe press, which is like the yoke, which we've talked about, with the safes attached either side, the big sort of boxes made out of steel. And the weight of that is 150. So that's also been confirmed today. So 160 kilo farmers, 150 kilo safe press. We then go into a Hercules hold, which will be for time. And I believe Bill Kazmaier and Magnus Ver Magnusson will be holding the same weight as the current athletes. So they're not going to get any special treatment. Those guys want to rock with the strongmen. They're going to rock with the strongmen. So let's see how they do in that event. That's really exciting because it's a bit of a one-off special for us as fans. And then following on from that, we finish with the Atlas Stones. I think the Stones are going to probably go up to 200. I don't think they're going to be 220 or anything ridiculous this time, unfortunately. But it is a bit of a long day for the guys. Time in the UK is 22:07. So basically, you know, this thing's probably going to keep going till about 9 p.m. So I'm going to be non-stop for the next 3-4 hours between Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And I'm going to try and do these little live videos just in between to help you guys on YouTube who haven't got the live stream or who aren't on other platforms. So hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and share if you can. It'd be great if I can grow my channel. We recently hit 15,000. So thanks, guys. Thanks for following me. I'm doing my best. And I'll be back after the advert break or after the Farmer's Walk with an update for you lot. So hope you're having a good Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, and I'll catch you in a bit. Bye.